Good morning. Okay, boys. I hope you all are well at your place. And today I will be discussing the minors and cofactors. Right? Before I discuss minors and cofactors, yesterday we have discussed the determinant and the use of determinant. We know that the area of triangle having vertices x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3 is given as half in bracket x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. This is in the coordinate form. But we can write the area of the triangle having three vertices in the determinant form also. That I am writing now. Area of triangle. Use of determinants. Area of triangle. Area of triangle. That means a triangle having coordinates x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 y3 is given by half. Here you will write x1 y1 1 x2 y2 1 x3 y3 1. This is the area of triangle. That means using determinants we can find out the area of triangles. Now 2-3 things we have to take care. When the points are collinear, then the area of triangle will be 0. In that case, no need of writing half. Simply you can write determinant, the value of determinant x1 y1 1 x2 y2 1 x3 y3 1 will be equal to 0. Sometimes the value of determinant, if you are getting negative, then you must take the value positive, the first thing, because the value of determinants can be negative, can be positive, but area of triangle cannot be negative. That's why if it is coming, the value of determinant is you are getting after solving negative, you write as the positive one. And sometimes when the area of triangle is given, and out of these three corners, any two corners will be given and you will be asked to find out the third coordinate. In that case, you have to use both plus and minus to find the value of the missing coordinates. Okay, that we will take care of. Now, I'll discuss about the minors and cofactors of any given matrix. Finding the minors and cofactors of any determinants. Suppose if I write here minors cofactors. Okay, any matrix A, if I write here, for any matrix A, we write the entries of determinants like this. A is equal to A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Okay. For determinant we write determinant of A is equal to, we write this sign now, A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. And we have learned that how to find the value of this determinant by expanding row 1, row 2, row 3, or by expanding by C1, C2 or C3. That we know, that we have done. Now, I am talking about the minors and cofactors. First of all, I write the address of minors and cofactors and how to denote it. As the minor suggests, I write M. Okay, minus we denote by M11. Minus we denote by M11, M12, M13, M21, M22, M23, M31, M32 and M33. This is for the minors. How to get it, that I will discuss. Minors we write like this. For the cofactors I will write in the capital A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. That is the cofactors. That means simply I am talking that whenever I have to write the minors, I will use M11 or M. And when I write the cofactors, I will use the capital A. A small a, that means the entry or the element of the given determinant. That's simple notification. Okay. Same way, I have written the square matrix of 3 by 3. The same method, same thing we will write with the determinant if you have given by 2 by 2. Right? Suppose I have to find out the minors. See, each entry, each element has their own minors. Okay? Each entry, that means there are 9 elements, it means we will have 9 minors. Right? And similarly, we will have 9 cofactors. Suppose I have to find out the minors for the first element A11. So now minors of 11, M11. That means I am finding the minors for A11. So now this is equal to, now again you remove this line, row and column, left out with A22, A23, A32, A33. This is a minor of the element, first element, that is for A11. Right? Now I have to find out the minors M12. So now what I will do? For M12 address is here, M12, right? First row, second column. So now this and this will be left out. Therefore, M12 will have A21, A23, A31 and A33. This is the minus of M12. So we have to find the minus of M13. So now tell me M13 will be, now for this M13 here, that means this row and this column. So now A21, A22, A31 and A33. This is the minus of the elements at A13. This way we will find out all the minors, right? And you know how to solve this, right? Here A22, A23, A32, right? And A31. So now simply A22 into A31 multiply minus A23 into A32. That we can write. Okay. And as soon as you get the minors, nothing to do with the cofactors. Nothing to do with the cofactor. Simply we have to change the sign of the minors and then you will get the cofactors. Now how to change the sign? Very simple, I am telling you. Here see the sum of the row and column. Here 1 plus 1 is 2, here 1 plus 2 is 3, here 1 plus 3 is 4. Whenever we have the address, sum of the address of that particular minors, if sum of the address of the particular minors is even, then sign will not change, and if it is odd, the sign will change. That means M11 will, whatever the value you will get, its sign will not change. For M12, the sum is 1 plus 2, 3. That's why, suppose this minus I am getting, suppose minus 2, then its cofactors will be 2. Its sign will change. In the book, it has been given like that. Suppose I am writing the minus Mij, then its cofactors, capital Aij, will have minus 1 to the power I plus j. Minus 1 to the power I plus j. That means if the address of that particular element, if it is coming negative, if it is coming odd, then the minus sign will change while you are writing the cofactors. Or if the address of the element is even, then for that the value of minus and the value of cofactors will remain same. Actually, what I am doing, I am writing this previous sign like this: plus minus plus, plus minus plus, minus plus minus. No sign together. That I have written in the first or second lesson. That's why while you are just changing the sign for the cofactors, only you have to take care of the sign, nothing else. Okay. Now this whole I will be discussing with one example, and that will be fine. Okay. Find minors and cofactors. Question is, find minors and cofactors of the determinant of 2, minus 3, 5, 6, 0, 4, 6, 0, 4 and 1, 5, minus 7. 1, 5, minus 7. This is the determinant given to us, and we are asked to find its minor and cofactors. Okay. Now see M11. We'll start finding the minors. Now M11 is equal to, now I am talking about this. Now this row, this column will be left out. 0, 4, 5, minus 7. Solve it. 0 into minus 7, 0, minus 20. Here answer is minus 20. So that's why M11 is minus 20. Now M12. This address is here. So now this row, this column will be left out. 6, 4, 1, minus 7. Its value will be minus 42 minus 4, and that is equal to minus 46. Right. Now M13. Now M13, 6, 0, 1, 5. That is equal to 30 minus 0, 30. Alright. So now M12 is 46 M12 is minus 46, M13 is 30. Similarly, we will find out the minors of rest all the 6 elements. Now, M21, this address is here, this row, this column. So now minus 3, 5, 5, minus 7. That is equal to 21 minus 25 minus 5. Right? M22 will have this row, this column left out. Okay, so now we'll have 2, 5, 1 minus 7. 2, 5, 1 minus 7. Minus 14 minus 5 minus 19. M23. This row here, this row, this column left out. 2 minus 3, 1, 5. 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. Right? M11, M12, M13, M21, M22, M23. Now we'll find out the minors of M31, M32 and M33. But before I go for the minors, I would like to write the cofactors. Okay, before I go for writing the minors for third row, I will write the here cofactors, so that if I rub it, then also we don't have any problem. See now here minor is first. Minor for the first entry is minus 20, minus 46, 30, minus 4, 19 and 30. Now we know that the cofactors we denote by capital A. So now here I will write minor is minus 20 and therefore A11 is equal to the sum of this row and column. 1 plus 1 is 2, that's why the value will not change, this will remain minus 20 itself. Right? Here A12, here the minus M12, sum of 1 plus 2 is 3, odd, that's why the cofactors, this value will change, positive to negative or negative to positive. Here it is minus 46, I like here positive 46. Simple. And if we have M13, 1 plus 3 is 4, it will not change, that's why the value of A13 will remain 30 only. Here M21, 2 plus 1 is 3, that's why again it will change, the value of A21 will be plus 4, positive 4. It is negative 4, but the sum of this row and column 2 plus 1 address of this minor is what? Odd, that's why 2 plus 1 is 3 and that's why the value of this minor, while I am writing the cofactors, the sign will change, A21 will be 4. Now when M22, it will not change, that's why the value of A22 will remain minus 19 only. And the value of A23 again it will change, it will becomes minus 13. This is the way. That's why simply we have to calculate the minors and just accordingly we change the sign of the minors to write the cofactors. Okay, so now A11 is minus 20, A12 is 46, A13 is 30, A21 is 4, A22 is minus 19 and A23 is minus 13. Now we will find out the minors for the third column. Okay, can I write here? I like writing now. M31, this row, this column, so now minus 3 into 4, minus 12, and when M31 is minus 12, then the value of A31, therefore A31 will be also minus 12. Why? Because sum of this address of I and j, 3 plus 1 is 4, that's why its value will not change. For writing the cofactors, it will remain A31 only and its value will be minus 12. Now if I talk about M32, That means this one, this row, this column. Now 2 4s are 8 minus 30. 8 minus 30 minus 12 minus 22. So now minus 22, and therefore the value of A32 will be positive 22. Right, here it was 5, this row, 8 minus 30, yes, 22. And when I talk about M33, now M33 will have this row, this column gone. Now 0 minus 18 plus 18, M33 18, and therefore A33 will be also 18. Right? So now this is the simple way to find out the minors and cofactors. Just I'll give you one suggestion. While you're writing the cofactors, don't write somewhere else. Wherever you are writing the minors, at the same place you write the cofactors. So that while you are changing the sign, you will be very much confident. Yes, accordingly, the address of the minors, I am writing the cofactors. That's why simple what we to do, just to find out the minors, and after that accordingly we write the cofactors. This part is done. And once when you are able to write the minors and cofactors, now if I see the cofactors we have for the first row minus 20, minus 46 and 30. For the second row we have 4, minus 19 and minus 13. For the third row we have minus 12, 22 and 18. Okay. And if I get the transpose of these cofactors, it is called adjoint. It is called adjoint. That's why ultimately we come to the conclusion ki how to find out the adjoint of a determinant or adjoint of a given matrix. Okay. Now, what we do in the adjoint of any matrix A? We just transpose its cofactors. That is, we have to find out minors, then we will find out the cofactors, and then we will transpose the cofactors. That means minus 20, minus 46 and 30, which is there in terms of columns, I will write in terms of rows. Sorry, which is in terms of rows, I will write in terms of columns. Here, 4, minus 19 and minus 13, these are the entries for the second row that we will write as second column. And minus 12, 22 and 18, these are the cofactors of third row that I will write as third column. That means writing cofactors as a transpose of the cofactors is called the adjoint of the given matrix A. Okay, that's why now I will discuss about the adjoint of any matrix. Right? So now we will discuss about the adjoint of a matrix. The adjoint of a square matrix A is defined as the transpose of Aij. Here this Ai is in capital. Okay, where Aij is the cofactors of the elements Aij. Now see the difference Aij, Aij and Aij. Aij, these are the elements of the given matrix, and this Aij, capital Aij is the what? Cofactors. That means if I have a matrix A having elements like this A11, A12, A13, A22, A22, A23, 31, A32 and A33. Then, and if I am asked to find out the adjoint of A, then I will write here adjoint of A is equal to transpose of A11, A12, A13, A22, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. That means, first of all, we will find out what? The transpose for each entry of the given matrix. That is, for that we have to find out M11 and then I'll find out A11. And just previously I have discussed how to find out A11. Now, transpose of this is equal to what? Transpose of this row becomes columns A11, A12, A13. Here I let A21, A22, A23, and this A31, A32 and A33. That's why we are doing that. The adjoint of a square matrix A having elements Aij of order m by m is defined as the transpose of this, transpose of Aij, and where Aij is what? Is the cofactors for each elements of the given matrix A, and this is the way to find out the adjoint. I think you must have got it. That means, simply for the given matrix, you find out its minors and cofactors, and after finding the cofactors, transpose the cofactors, and that transpose will give you the value of adjoint of A. And this part is done. And now I will discuss about the inverse of a matrix. Right? Very simply, for any given matrix A, the inverse of the matrix A is denoted by A inverse this way, is equal to adjoint of A upon determinant of A. And of course, determinant of A should not be equal to 0. And this part we have discussed earlier, but anyhow I can write here. If determinant of A equal to 0 and determinant of A is not equal to 0, it is only possible when determinant of A is not equal to 0, provided, I write here, determinant of A is not equal to 0. And when determinant of A is not equal to 0, it is called what? Singular or non-singular? I think you must have gone through it, that one. That means, when we say that determinant of A is equal to 0, it means it is a singular matrix. If A equal to 0, then it is called singular matrix. And if it is not equal to 0, it is called non-singular matrix. Non-singular matrix. It means what? We can find out the inverse of only matrix which is non-singular. That means, to find out the inverse, first of all, we have to check what is the value of determinant. If the value of determinant is not equal to 0, then only we can find out the inverse of that matrix. Otherwise, we cannot find, because in that case these terms will be not defined, because we know that inverse of any matrix is equal to adjoint of A upon determinant of A, and here determinant of A must not be equal to 0. Is it clear to all of you now? That's why, and the inverse of matrix is a unique. Inverse of matrix is a unique. Now, in between there are some things which I would like to discuss. The properties of adjoint of any given matrix A, the properties I would like to discuss, and then one property also I will discuss, that when I multiply any matrix A by its adjoint, what happens? A into adjoint of A. If I multiply any matrix by its adjoints, what we will get, that I will discuss. Okay. And one thing which I have not discussed yet, that is the properties of determinants, right? But I will solve the questions for that. 2-3 questions I will solve it, and I hope that you all can do it. There are 8 properties of determinants, one by one. Okay, that I will display, that I will give you in the written format. Okay, as assignments when I will upload this video. With this video I will upload the all the written materials for the matrices and determinants, so that you all can go through it. Thank you very much. Now I'll continue in the next lesson with this minus, cofactors, and how to find out the inverse of any given matrix. That means how to find out the inverse of any given matrix. That I'll discuss in the next lesson. Thank you very much. Please do take care, and please do the practice of mathematics regularly. Thank you very much.